Try to fill this table yourself. Having filled table 1.1, let us now examine it. Do all of these persons have the same notion of development or progress? Most likely no, not. Each one of them seeks different things. They seek things that are most important for them, that is, which can fulfill their aspirations or desires. In fact, at times, two persons or groups of persons may seek things which are conflicting. A girl expects as much freedom and opportunity as her brother, and that he also shares in the household work. Her brother may not like this. Similarly, to get more electricity, industrialists may want more dams, but this may submerge the land and disrupt the lives of people who are displaced, such as tribals. They might resent this and may prefer small check dams or tanks to irrigate their land. So, two things are quite clear. One, different persons can have different developmental goals, and two, what may be development for one may not be development for the other. It may even be destructive for the others. Those people don't want to develop. Income and other goals. If you go over table 1.1 again, you will notice one common thing. What people desire are regular work, better wages, and decent price for their crops or other products that they produce. In other words, they want more income. Besides seeking more income, one way or the other, people also seek things like equal treatment, freedom, security, and respect of others. They resent discrimination. All these are important goals. In fact, in some cases, these may be more important than more income or more consumption, because material goods are not all that you need to live. Money or material things that one can buy with it is one factor on which our life depends. But the quality of our life that also depends on non-material things mentioned above. If it is not obvious to you, then just think of the role of your friends in your life. You may desire their friendship. Similarly, there are many things that are not easily measured, but they mean a lot to our lives. These are often ignored. However, it will be wrong to conclude that what cannot be measured is not important. A demonstration meeting against raising the height of Sardar Sarovar Dam on Narmada River. You can see this picture. They are raising a movement or meeting for raising the height of Sardar Sarovar Dam on Narmada River. Consider another example. If you get a job in a far off place, before accepting it, you would try to consider many factors apart from income, such as facilities for your family, working atmosphere, or opportunity to learn. In another case, a job may give you less pay but may offer regular employment that enhances your sense of security. Another job, however, may offer high pay but no job security and also leave no time for your family. This will reduce your sense of security and freedom. Similarly, for development, people look at a mix of goals. It is true that if women are engaged in paid work, their dignity in the household and society increases. However, it is also the case that if there is respect for women, there would be more sharing of housework and a greater acceptance of women working outside. A safe and secure environment may allow more women to take up a variety of jobs or run a business. Hence, the developmental goals that people have are not only about better income but also about other important things in life. This is like a summary which we have read. We will try to do this yourself, or comment below for the answers of these questions. So I will make a video for you. National development. If, as we have seen above, individuals seek more different goals, then their notion of national development is also likely to be different. Discuss among yourselves on what India should do for development. If you want this discussion, comment below and I will make a video for you, because it is a very अच्छा topic for discussion. Most likely, you would find that different students in the class have given different answers to the above question. In fact, you might yourself think of many different answers and not be too sure of any of this. It is very important to keep in mind that different persons could have different as well as conflicting notions of a country's development. However, can all the ideas be considered equally important? Or if there are conflicts, how does one decide? What would be a fair and just path for all? We also have to think whether there is a better way of doing things. Would the idea benefit a large number of people or only a small group? National development means thinking about these questions. Let's work this out. Discuss the following situations. Look at the picture on right. What should be the development goals for such an area? Read this newspaper report and answer the questions that follow. A vessel dumped 500 tons of liquid toxic wastes into open air dumps in a city and in the surrounding sea. This happened in a city called Abidjan in Ivory Coast, a country in Africa. The fumes from the highly toxic waste caused nausea, skin rashes, fainting, diarrhea, etc. After a month, 7 persons were dead, 20 in hospital, and 26,000 treated for symptoms of poisoning. A multinational company dealing in petroleum and metals had contracted a local company of the Ivory Coast to dispose the toxic waste from its ship. Who are the people who benefited and who did not? What should be the development goal for this country? What can be some of the development goals for your village, town, or locality? Try to find this out. If you want the answer, comment below and we will solve this in the video that you want. Activity 1. If even the idea of what constitutes development can be varied and conflicting, then certainly there can be differences about what ways of developing. If you know of any such controversy, try to find out arguments advanced by different people. You may do so by talking to different persons, or you may find it from newspapers and television. How to compare different countries or states. You might ask, if development can mean different things, how come some countries are generally called developed and other underdeveloped? Before we come to this, let us consider another question. When we compare different things, they could have similarities as well as differences. Which aspects do we use to compare them? Let us look at the students in the class itself. How do we compare different students? They differ in their height, health, talents, and interests. The healthiest student may not be the most studious one. The most intelligent student may not be the friendliest one. So how do we compare students? The criterion we may use depends on the purpose of comparison. We use different criterion to choose a sports team, a debate team, a music team, or a team to organize a picnic. Still, if for some purpose we have to choose the criterion for all-round progress of children in the class, how shall we do it? Usually, we take one or more important characteristics of persons and compare them based on these characteristics. Of course, there can be differences about what are important characteristics that should form the basis of comparison. Friendliness and spirit of cooperation, creativity or marks secured. This is true for development too. For comparing countries, their income is considered to be one of the most important attributes. Countries with higher income are uh, are more developed than others with less income. This is based on the understanding that more income means more of all things that human beings need. Whatever people like and should have, they will be able to get with greater income. So, greater income itself is considered to be one of important goal. Now, what is the income of a country? Intuitively, the income of the country is the income of all the residents of the country. This gives us the total income of the country. However, for comparison between countries, total income is not such an useful measure since countries have different populations. Comparing total income will not tell us what an average person is likely to earn. Are people in one country better off than others in a different country? Hence, we compare the average income, which is total income of the country divided by its total population. The average income is also called per capita income. We can write it as see why is it not working? Per capita income is equal to total income upon divided by its total population. Sorry. Okay, I will write it one more time. Total income of a particular country divided by or upon total population. It is used to calculate a per capita income of a particular country. Okay. In World Development Reports brought out by the World Bank, this criterion is used in classifying countries. Countries with per capita income of US dollar 12,056 per annum and above in 2017 are called rich countries, and those with per capita income of US dollar 955 or less are called low income countries. India comes in the category of low middle income countries because its per capita income in 2017 was just US dollar 1820 per annum. Per annum means 1 year. Per annum equal 1 year. The rich countries, excluding countries of Middle East and certain other small countries, are generally called developed countries. You can learn some definitions in this chapter, So you can underline that like this: development countries, what countries are called development countries, etc., etc. Average income. While averages are useful for comparison, they also hide disparities. For example, let us consider two countries A and B. For the sake of simplicity, we have assumed that they have only 5 citizens each. Based on the data given in Table 1.2, calculate the average income for both the countries. You can see this table. Will you be equally happy to live in both these countries? Are both equally developed? Perhaps some of us like to live in country B if we are assured of being in fifth citizen. But if it is a lottery that decides our citizenship number, then perhaps most of us prefer to live in country A. Even though both the countries have identical average income, country A is preferred because it has more equitable distribution. In this country, people are neither very rich nor extremely poor. On the other hand, most citizens in country B are poor and one person is extremely rich. Hence, while average income is useful for comparison, it does not tell us how this income is distributed among people. Country with no rich and no poor. We made the chairs and we use them. Country with rich and poor. This was considered like India's or some undeveloped developing countries. Let's work this out. Try to solve them. Otherwise, comment below and I will make a separate video for these. Income and other criteria. When we looked at individual aspirations and goals, we found that people not only think of better income but also have goals such as security, respect for others, equal treatment, freedom, etc. in mind. This would be underlined. People think people just not think about better income but also have goals such as security, respect for others, equal treatment, and freedom. Similarly, when we think of a nation or region, we may, besides average income, think of other equally important attributes. What could these attributes be? Let us examine this through an example. Table 1.3 gives the per capita income of Haryana, Kerala, and Bihar. You can see this table. Economic Survey 2018 and 19. Actually, these figures are of per capita net state domestic product at current price for 2016-17. Let us ignore what this complicated term exactly means. Roughly, we can take it to be the per capita income of the state. We find that of the three, Haryana has the highest per capita income and Bihar is at the bottom. This means that on an average, a person in Haryana earned rupees 1,80,174 rupees in 1 year, whereas on an average, a person in Bihar earned only around rupees 34,409. So, if per capita income were to be used as the measure of development, Haryana will be considered the most developed and Bihar the least developed state of the three. Now, let us look at certain other data pertaining to these states given in table 1.4. Some comparative data on Haryana, Kerala and Bihar. You can learn these definitions because these are also come in my exam. Explanation of some of the terms used in this table. Infant mortality rate or IMR. indicates the number of children that die before the age of 1 year as a proportion of 1,000 live children born in that particular year. Literacy rate measures the proportion of literate population in the 7 and above age group. Net attendance ratio is the total number of children of age group 14 and 15 years attending school as a percentage of total number of children in the same group. You can see that Kerala is best in all these things.